Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video just on our guy on the internet. And in today's video I'm going to be giving you guys an update on my new 2021 Mount Massive Asylum Map, which I have been working on for the last few months. And yeah, I promised in my last update video that I would give you guys a look at it by the end of the month, by the end of March. And here it is. So yeah, without further ado, let's get right into it. So let's see, let's start with the mail ward because it's actually pretty close, well, the closest to being done. None of these are really actually 100% done. I do have a lot more areas than that you see right here, but they're still very much in progress. These areas that I'm showcasing are the closest to being done. So some of the other areas, for example, the main floors of the wards, I'm still working on them. There's a lot of missing walls and rooms. So, and they do look pretty ugly. So yeah, I'm just going to show the best parts that I have right here. And yeah, so here's the male ward, which for some reason I've been working on quite a bit with some of the detailing. I guess I'm just kind of getting a feel for some of the details when I do actually start doing them. Of course, there is still a lot of actual structural stuff left to do, like the walls and room layouts. So, but yeah, so here's the mail ward, and I'm gonna be treating this video as though like you're new to my channel and this is the first like map video you're seeing, and you're unfamiliar with the layout of the asylum. But if you've watched all of my videos, then you pretty much kind of have an idea of how this is all laid out. So, but yeah, this is the mail ward. This is the second and third level of the mail ward. As you can see, there are a lot of different colors here representing all of the different stuff here. So this gives you a really good idea of what you're going to expect, as to what you can expect for the final and finished product. Pretty much anything that you could hope to find is here, and that's why I have all the different colored lines here. That AutoCAD lets you allow, you can do different colors, and then label, what they're supposed to represent. I don't know if you guys can see this right here when I pulled out the text. I was kind of recording this a little bit earlier, and for some reason this does not show up, so I don't know if you guys are going to be seeing this or not. But I will still say what all of these are. So yeah, in black is all of the different walls that you can see right here. So anything structural, walls, columns, stuff like that, that's going to be in black. Everything in white is the text, so all of the rooms are going to be labeled in the final product. So here you can get an idea of what it's going to be like. Let's see, and then what's next? Yeah, doors, that's in green, so all the different types of doors, it's in green. In blue is the windows, as you can see. I kind of did them weird because you can see that I didn't really take into account the actual wall thickness for this. So that is just something that, just happened. So I had to do the windows kind of like this. So in pink, that's the stairs. And you can see that I do have the correct number of steps, actually. So there's 11 steps on each side over here. And on the second floor, you can see there's actually a lot more steps. And that's because the heights of the floors are actually, it's a different height for each of the floors. So the second floor is taller than the third floor, and that's why there's less steps here. And then let's see, orange is elevators, yeah. And then yellow is plumbing, so you can see I do have some water pipes here. Both that run horizontally, and you have the vertical as well that you see. And then you got vents here, kind of this, I don't know, kind of like mustard kind of color. So all the different ventilation shafts here that you see. Red is heating, so that's going to be all of the radiators, which is nothing new. I did do radiators for my old 2017 map, but I only added them in after I showcased it. Let's see, and light blue is everything that has to do with electrics, so we have some, as you can see, some wall outlets going on over here, and in the future is going to be some lighting and wiring. And then you can see that the kind of this maroon color is fire prevention, so that's going to be the fire extinguishers and sprinkler system. So very nice, and I think that's everything, right? Let's see. Oh, and then partition is basically anything non-structural. So that's like the bathroom stalls, for example, which you can see here in the female ward, and also the fencing in the drying ground, courtyard, recreation area. And yeah, so that's pretty much it. So now you guys pretty much know what I'm going to be doing and what all the different colors are. So yeah, let's talk about the actual map now. So yeah, here are the, well, of course, the second and third floor of the male ward, like I said. Uh, you know, very similar, as you can see, to each other. They're pretty much the same, except a few differences. Like, there's more doors on the second floor. On the third floor, there's the storage room. And also the second floor has these hallways that kind of run through it. Which I still have to, yeah, figure that all out. Because it seems like this area right here is a little bit smaller than the area right here, which is interesting. And one of the discoveries I made is that this hallway right here is actually shorter than all the other ones. So that's interesting. Yeah, so you have the dormitories here. As you can see, there's these numbers here, if you're wondering what those are. That's the actual occupancy of the room, so it holds up to 20 people. Now that number is an estimate. There's actually no way of confirming how many patients the dorms can hold up to. If you've seen my my Minecraft Mount Massive Asylum map that I uploaded last month, I said that number was 15, and then the corner rooms were 7. I've changed that number since, so yeah, do expect in the next kind of like few months to have like different like results pretty much. So if I say one thing and then I change it in like another video, you know, I'm still learning new stuff about the actual design, so it's only natural that some of the things that I used to think are now different. Um, the reason why I changed it, the actual occupancy, is because I didn't take into account 4 beds that would also be at these columns. I only took into account the beds at the sides here and the 4 over here, but you know, there would be another 4 over here. Maybe there would be 2 over here as well and over here, but there's really no way of really confirming it since the asylum is pretty much a mess when you enter it. Everything's pretty much thrown about. And these corner dormitories, the only reason I have 10 is because I took half of 20, which makes sense because the corner dormitories are about roughly half the size of the main ones. So, yeah. So that's kind of the number I have right now. At the moment, it could change in the final version. So, but yeah, there's still a lot of things that can change. At least for some of the minor stuff. Like, pretty much the structural stuff is, for the most part, figured out. There's still some things I do need to figure out, of course, you know, because it's not easy. So, yeah, there's definitely a lot of work behind this. Everything that you see here is pretty much accurate to, like, the meter. The way I do these is I pretty much measure. I'll quickly go over here. I take a screenshot using FreeCam of the entire like area and some of the rooms, and I physically measure it, and I put it onto here. So, you know, it's very tedious, and sometimes some stuff. What's also very annoying is it doesn't line up for some reason, which is extremely frustrating to say the least. So, but you know, the final version will probably not be like 100%, you know, accurate to like everything, but it's still pretty accurate. So, yeah, I'm definitely doing my best here, but I can't really guarantee that it'll be completely accurate with the proportions and the scaling, which is something that I really didn't do for my old map. I was more concerned with just getting the layout correct instead of the actual dimensions. So, and yeah, so I think that's pretty much it for the The mail ward. There's still some stuff that I need to do, of course, especially the detail. So my main focus is to have everything structural, all of the walls and layout figured out by June, and then spend the rest of the summer doing all of the details. So, plumbing, heating, everything like that. There is an incredible amount of detail involved with this map that you still haven't really seen here. There's going to be like the little arches as well. That's here. You'll see them in the hospital. I kind of did them in the hospital. But there's going to be the arches and also some of the curved corners that you see, because not all the corners on the walls, are perfectly straight. Some of them have a little curve to them, so I'm going to also include those. So yeah, that's why this takes so long. You're definitely not going to finish this in a week. That's why this takes time, because there's a lot of detail here. It's not just, the actual layout. It's pretty much everything. So, yeah, and then you have the female ward, pretty much just a mirror image of the male ward. Again, this is the second and third level here. Yeah, that's still very much in progress, as you can see. Most of the structural stuff is done, but yeah, for the actual detail. I have the doors added in, so that's nice, but there's still quite a bit left to do. So yeah, main staircase / elevator, the office, which I think that's an office, this area right here. I don't think that would be a dormitory, but there's really no way of figuring that out because you never actually go into any of these 4 rooms at the forward section. And then let's see, what do we have next? Vocational block. Yes, vocational block was a pain, I must say. Actually, that's not really fair because all of the sections were a pain. Like, all the stuff that you see right here wasn't like the first attempt. Like, there were many like previous attempts to these. So, and then I would mess up and I have to start again. So, because the measurement was off, yeah, it's definitely takes a lot of time. That's why I take frequent breaks. So, because I get burned out really easily doing this. And that's also another reason why it's been taking so long. So yeah, part of the reason why the vocational block has been hard, one of the challenges, well really the only challenge that I've really come across, is the actual framing. If you've seen my old map, you know that there are a lot of columns in the vocational block, and that makes sense because the vocational block has many large rooms. So naturally it's going to require a lot of supports to hold everything up and keep it stable. And that's one of the challenges, is making sure all of these line up. And as you can imagine, that took a lot of time. In my previous attempts, this is actually one of the previous attempts, and so is this one right here. As you can see, that one doesn't even have framing. But initially, I thought that all the framing was spaced evenly, but that's actually not the case, because as you can see right here, so like at the windows, it's even, all of them are, so yeah, it's 12, so you can see right here is 12, right here is 12, but then if you go to like a different section, you can see that this one is 13, and this like center one is only 10, so yeah, and that's actually why this right here is kind of inaccurate. I still need to fix the first level here. Because I made it when I thought all of them were evenly spaced, and I was getting really frustrated because nothing was lining up. And then I was like, oh, I took a closer look at the actual like wooden planks, and there's actually a different number of them for each of the areas. And I'm like, oh, they're evenly spaced apart, so that's why everything was lining up. And then in these right here, they actually line up pretty good. Here on the second and third level, everything lines up pretty well. So this right here will probably not change much. There's probably going to be a few tweaks here and there, but for the most part, everything here is going to be pretty much the final version. So this is the true shape of the vocational block with the correct, well, mostly correct measurements. So very exciting. Another thing that I've really discovered for here is that these doors right here are actually not like symmetrical. As you can see, the door right here is only 10, and this right here is 15. So that's just a small little discovery I've made. So there's a lot of small little discoveries I made. Maybe I'll make a separate video on that. So, but I hate when it does that. Anyways, so yeah, Vocational Block is still very much work in progress. If you're wondering why the actual supports for your gymnasium aren't here, is because these are centered like right here, so there would be like a beam here, one here. So I first need to make sure that these are all lined up before I can make the supports for the gymnasium here. That of course spans 2 levels. And then, yeah, so here for the 3rd floor, you can get a really good idea of how the framing is actually laid out. So, very nice. Very proud of how that turned out. A lot of these areas turned out a lot better than I was expecting them to. So, let's see, sewer. So this is the main kind of area that I've done of the sewer. I did start the lower junction and the other area that kind of connects to the cesspool. Yeah, this is the sewer that runs underneath the prison block, courtyard, a little bit of the female ward, and also a little bit of the admin block. And maybe also a recreation area. So yeah, you got even the, as you can see, the actual water pipes here. Right here is the prison block drain and female ward drain. So of course Miles has to turn the 2 little valves to access the lower junction. Again, a lot of detail here. Everything is very accurate here. So you have like these little jet out sections which are there. Everything is very, very much accurate. And you also have like the little like vertical tunnels. I don't know what to call them. That has like the light at the top of them. Chris Walker bashes through one of them in this area. So, and those are the ones with a plus for now. I just put that there because some of these, go down instead of up. So like the little access points for the lower junction, of course, go down, and also these ones as well. Oh yeah, forgot to take this out. Yeah, so this is a little cross section I did of one of the male ward staircases. So this one right here, one of the 4 staircases, and you can really get a good idea of the different heights of the ceiling on the floors. So this is the 1st floor. This would be the 2nd floor and 3rd floor. So you can see all of them are different heights. And the reason I'm doing this is because it's going to help me with my Minecraft Mount Massive Asylum map. So everything's going to be very much accurate here. And of course that does include the different ceiling heights, which you see in the admin block and wards. And also the vocational block. I'm still not sure if it's the same kind of height as the other areas. I'll have to double check, but like the actual floors in the vocational block are different heights. Same for the hospital. The 1st floor, the main floor of the hospital, has a higher ceiling than the 2nd floor. And interestingly enough, the prison block actually, all 3 levels of the prison block are the same height, which is interesting. So anyways, yeah, speaking of the prison, here it is. Here's the 3rd and top level of it. I'm still working on the level right below it, which has the main entrance. So that's still very much in progress. I only have like the main entrance done for that, like this area here. Pretty much A block. So yeah, this is in Whistleblower. You have the fourth, yes, it's the 3rd level. So it's the very top floor, and then the attic would be above it. So yeah, as you can see, there isn't a lot of detail for this area. Only the structural parts are done, and some of the doors here. And I still need to work out the exterior shape. That's going to be fun to do. And then yeah, wards, female ward, like I said. And then we have the hospital here. And hospital, okay, so what do I have to say about the hospital? Okay, so one of the things I've discovered a while ago is the true shape of the exterior shape of the hospital. Now, if you go into free cam in the drying ground and go to the hospital, you can see that it's shaped a little weird. That is true for the most part, but actually the back of it and the sides are correct. They have these jut out pieces. So these measurements right here, you can see that the corners of the hospital kind of stick out a bit, and you also have like these little windows here. And all of these measurements are the exact same as the wards. So you can see you have, the corners that stick out and the little jut out pieces. So yeah, the hospital is constructed very similar to the actual wards, which is very interesting. I don't know if any of you guys noticed that, but if you didn't, well, now you know. So yeah, there's 4 of these here and then 2 on the sides. Same for the wards. If you see my old map, I had 3 jet out sections. There's only 2. So, and I'm not going to explain it now, why I did it like that, perhaps in a future video. But yeah, so you do have the hospital, of course. Not every, some of the rooms I still need to figure out, like the hospital, the actual like rooms here in this ward. Yeah, that's been really fun. So only a few rooms are completely done here. So E239 and E241, which have private baths. There are some other things that I've discovered, like this room right here has the exact same shape as this one, which in my old map I had it like one of these rooms here. And this room right here actually kind of sticks out a little bit more, which is just, so a lot of these discoveries I've made using FreeCam, so it's been very useful because I don't think the map would be anywhere near as accurate if I didn't have it. So I definitely made a lot of really cool discoveries, a lot of them being pretty small, so there's still a lot of pretty cool things I found out about. Some of the spacing here, like for example on the old map, I just had the rooms like side to side, but there are like these little voids, as you can see. So if you see like these little areas, they're actually there. So, yeah, and this office right here is very interesting because you have to cross through this balcony in order to reach it. The only reason why you are able to pass through this area in the game is because this wall has been smashed in. So, very interesting there. And yeah, the first floor, not much to say about it. Of course, I still need to do the actual crematorium area that's like in this wing. Still not a lot of detail in the hospital here, as you can see. Here are what I mean by the actual arches here. So there's like these little arches that you see here. Yeah, so, and I've also kind of been labeling some stuff. And yeah, you can see also that this area kind of juts out a little bit, the actual surgery office. And that's because this area right here would be under the gas room right here. So, very cool. And I think that's actually it. Yeah. So yeah, those are some of the areas that that are pretty much done. There's a few stuff I need to add, but as for the other areas that I did not showcase, they're still very much in progress. For example, the administration block, I did start all 3 levels on that, so that's still very much in progress. Yeah, prison block still have to do. I actually got most of the drying ground also figured out. There were some things I needed to fix, so that's why I didn't show it. And then yeah, the courtyard I'm gonna do like once everything is lined up, so it'll be much easier because as we know, it's just in smack dab in the center. So first I need to make sure everything lines up before I can start that. And yeah, so I think that's really it. There's probably some stuff that I could say. Maybe not. I think I was gonna say something, but I totally forgot what I was gonna say. Maybe I can say it in another video. So, oh, right. In case you guys are wondering why, like, for example, like, the scale here is different, for, like, the hospital, the 2 floors here, and for the vocational block, that's because, I'll quickly go over how I do it. I've already said it, I measured the actual rooms, so that's why it's like that. And that's really it. Yeah. So, I think that's going to be it for the end of the video, guys. Thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions, please do leave them in the comments below. I'll be very happy to answer it, because I know this video right here probably raised a few more questions and answers. So, yeah, I'll be ready to take your guys' questions. Yeah, this is just what happens when I an unscripted video. I have no idea what I'm talking about, so hopefully you guys understood everything. Definitely not the best at explaining all of this, so. And also there's a lot of missing stuff here, so it's a little bit harder to explain. Once the full map does come out, everything will make a lot more sense. So I promise you guys, and yeah, so quick little update on the Outlast 2 map. Yeah, that's going to be coming by the end of April, so it's probably going to release it on the 25th because that is the Outlast 2 anniversary. The actual Outlast 2 map is pretty much done. There are a few areas I do need to finalize. You know, I need to draw them out. Like, I've got them figured out. Like, I've got a rough draft of it, but I still need to, like, add it, which doesn't take too much time to do it, so. And every area of the map has now been figured out. So, yeah, I'm going to be very excited to show you guys that, and hopefully you guys are as well. And also, of course, in the summer or early fall, this right here. So, and yeah, so that's going to be the end of the video, guys. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. So, bye for now.